Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Marcus Speaks. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Marcus Speaks, where I get to tell you about all of the, well, not all, but I get to tell you guys about a trending topic that I feel as though that is important. If you could, please like this video, share this video, and subscribe if you are new here, please. All right? Also, please don't be shy to write something in the comment section. I will be looking at that. I won't keep you guys here long today, just like any other through the week video I've been doing within the past week. This might be no more than maybe like 20-30 minutes, so you know. But let me get into a few promotions first, and then let me tell you about fair use, and we're going to get into today's topic. So, if you could, do me a favor, go over and hit that subscribe button if you could to not only this channel, but my secondary channel, Marcus Speaks Play. So, with Marcus Speaks Play and Marcus Speaks, you can catch those shows, Marcus Speaks Play on Fridays at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, as well as Marcus Speaks Live on Saturdays at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, if you could, do me that favor, go ahead and subscribe to both of my channels, and do me one favor, please like this video, subscribe if you are new here, and share it to your social medias, and guess what? It's all free. So, if you guys have watched my podcast before, you know that when I do my podcast, usually I have a video to further my point of what I'm talking about. So, with that being said, I'm going to tell you guys about fair use. Fair use isn't just a YouTube policy, it is also the law, and I want to make sure that I'm following both. So, instead of me actually telling you exactly what fair use is, I'll let my past self tell you what fair use is. Hello, everyone. I'm going to tell you about fair use. It's the law. Warning. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyright motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use and is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 USC 107. That was beautiful. Now, since you guys know what fair use is, let's get into today's topic. So, today I'm going to be speaking about something that has been heavy on my mind, and I'm glad that this has been kind of brought to the forefront. I spoke on a podcast episode about me having to have a sit down talk with a coworker of mine, a female coworker at that, and I basically told her this. I was like, look, if you're out by yourself, or it's you and your sister, or if you're out with any female company, Please be aware of your surroundings. I do not want to hear that something happened to you or you got hospitalized for something, for being negligent and not knowing what's going on out in the world right now. So if you guys don't know, there has been recent it's been kind of like an underground phenomenon. Like no one has been really talking about this really on the news. So I'm gonna be the first person, if not the umpteenth person, to talk about this. So ladies, this is mainly for you, but fellas, if you are watching, please let a female co-worker, family member, mother, aunt, somebody that you know that's a female. Don't stop at just family. Make sure you let any female you know about this. So there's been a phenomenon going on to where napkins have been being placed and jammed into car handles. So uh, these women and these girls not being really aware. They just see a a napkin on their door handle. They don't think much of it. They're like, whatever, cool. Let me just take it off, and then I'm gonna be going about my day. But there is a dangerous thing happening with these napkins. They're being laced with something. They're being laced with some drug or chemical or some sort of compound that immediately are having women feel symptoms, and then they're either passing out from it, or they either their symptoms are being very latent to where they don't feel them until a little while down the road or so. But it's real dangerous right now. So we live in a dangerous time. A lot of crimes happening in big cities, in small cities around the country here in America. I'm not too sure about outside of America, but here in America, there's a lot of bullshit going on, and they're letting um, a lot of these criminals out on bail because if it's not a violent crime or if they don't steal anything that surpasses $1,000, they're letting them go. So with this, I spoke on also on a earlier. If you've been watching me for the past 3.5 years now, you would know that I spoke on two topics. One of them is trafficking, basically sex trafficking, and another one is I gotta look it up. I forgot what the other one was. So let's see. One of them was trafficking. The other one was something else. I can't remember. Let's see. So I did a show back in 2000 and what was it? 2020, I believe it was. If not 2021, I spoke about human trafficking and how during when it was being spoke on, it was more so going on in like major like major black cities basically. So we're speaking about Atlanta, Baltimore, Houston, and you name the black city, it was going on there. So okay, I went too far. So I spoke on human trafficking. That's one of them that I spoke on. And then another one was it's called human trafficking. I did it 2 years ago, so in 2022 or 2020. I mean, I did that show, and then I can't remember what what else I spoke on when it comes to this topic that relates to this topic. Um, but you guys, if you go onto my channel, if you go to videos, if you scroll down, It's probably, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's the sixth. If you go all the way down and you count the rows up, it's the sixth row. Panning from the left to right, it is the fifth video. So it's called human trafficking. All right, I want you guys to pay attention to that or watch that. It's only an hour and 43 minutes and 10 seconds, so you'll get it done within no time. So I want you guys to watch that and understand where I'm coming from when I'm talking about this. So basically, what's been going on, as I mentioned already, so women are approaching their cars, not thinking much of it, seeing these napkins stuffed into their door handles. They're just taking it out and throwing it, and then they're either receiving symptoms right away, or it's being latent to where they'll feel them either while driving or probably once they get home or whatever, and they're not understanding what's happening to them or whatever. So they're going to the hospital, right? So a disturbing trend is emerging after several women have came forward to share terrifying experiences with poison-laced napkins. A Houston woman shared her experience with a napkin that she found placed in the door handle of her car after leaving a restaurant date with her husband. She stated that she removed the napkin with her fingertips and washed her hands right away, and began to experience symptoms that led to her hospitalized. So this is the video I'm about to show. The video is probably like, I think it's like 3 minutes or so, maybe. It's 6 minutes. So there we
Are
go.
black women across the U.S. being poisoned on purpose?
Deadly.
This Houston woman went viral after removing a napkin from her car. She says it was an attempt to poison her. Now others are coming forward saying that they are finding the same things on their cars. Is it a coincidence, or are black women being targeted? I'm Justin Carter. This is TSR Investigates. Last month, millions of people watched Erin Mims on social media tell us about a terrible birthday experience she had earlier this year. She says that she was leaving a restaurant with her husband when outside she noticed that there was a napkin placed in the door handle of her car. She used her fingertips to then remove it and instantly went to go wash her hands. She says suddenly her body went numb. She says that her doctors say she was likely poisoned. Now, this story got the attention of many, many women out there who've been noticing similar occurrences, including one woman who says that she just found a slip of paper in her trunk. Laisha White was so shaken. She posted about her experience on Instagram.
Y'all be safe out here, man. I don't know what's on here, but I gotta remove it. I noticed something on my headlight.
She says she'd been running errands all day in her neighborhood in the suburbs of Atlanta, and after picking up a pizza from a Papa John's, she saw a piece of paper hanging from her trunk.
When we seen it, it had some powdery substances on the headlight.
She stopped dead in her tracks. She says she knew not to touch it.
And my first reaction was, why is it happening to me? You know, you would hear stuff on the news or you'll see stuff on social media, you get in panic mode.
Like this woman who spotted a crumpled $5 bill sitting by an ATM machine in Bay Point, California.
Now, it's not just napkins. It's also money as well. So even seeing a stray dollar bill, $5 bill, $10 bill, whatever the amount is, that is also dangerous as well to pick up. So, I understand, I found money. And you get excited and, it's like, I didn't have $5 when I woke up this morning. Now I do have $5. Now I can get, I don't know, what you can get. It's not very much you can get for $5 right now at Joe Biden's economy, but yeah, you're seeing money and it's like, oh my gosh, or if you're seeing, there's a napkin jammed in your door handle, or if it's a piece of paper's hanging from the trunk and it looks like a powdery substance is on it, don't pick it up. All right? Do not pick it up. The best thing you can do really is call the police so they can remove it. That's really the best thing that I really got, is to call the police and make sure that they know about it. Hopefully they do know about what's going on right now when it comes to this, because this is very dangerous. This is so dangerous to the fact that you can lose your life from this, because so with that being said, since the video, countless other women have came forward to share similar experiences. A woman in Atlanta, shared her story about about a piece of paper sticking out of the trunk, which we just saw. So, also, when hospitalized, urine tests, blood screenings, and CAT scans are coming back inconclusive. That's why this is dangerous. Because what the hell are these motherfuckers out there doing where if you're getting all this done, they can't find whatever in your blood or your urine, or when you take a CAT scan to see what's up with you, they still can't figure it out. Like, that's why this is so dangerous. I have 3 sisters, and I have a young niece. So the reason why I'm covering this is because of them. I don't want to find out that they went out somewhere and they come back to their car and they saw this, or it's various places that they're putting a lot of this stuff at. Because when I covered the human trafficking story, I also spoke about this, where a woman will come out to her car and she'll see like a sticker, or she'll see either like a you name it, whatever that a motherfucker who's tracking her can find to put on her car. Like the whole thing with the Apple AirTags, when people were getting in their car, starting their cars, and then they would see on their phone you have an unknown AirTag in your area, and it's like what? Like, women were just looking like, what was going on? And excuse me. And nonetheless, they were being traced or tracked by someone that wanted to kidnap them and wanted to, cause them some sort of bodily harm. As we can see in certain videos, where we can see these all over the internet, where a woman, she takes her keys. Like, usually, with these videos, they have Ring doorbells. So, a woman's unlocking her door, and then there's some unknown assailants right behind her. She goes to open her door, walk in her house, and they run up to her house and force their way in. It's a lot of this stuff going on right now. And when I was, tell you the truth, when I was coming up, I wasn't really hearing much stories like this until me being in my 30s. Like, maybe it was happening, but I'm just now hearing about all of this stuff now. So let's continue with the video, because it's a lot in here that I want to go over. So let's keep going.
Yeah.
So y'all know people is trying to capture people with money, right? Don't fall for it.
Or Erin Mims, who told the Fox News affiliate in Houston that she was rushed to the hospital after she touched a balled up napkin left in her door handle.
This isn't the actual napkin, but I just wanted to give y'all an idea of how it was sticking out the door handle.
Minutes after picking it off, she started feeling funny.
And maybe like 5 minutes, my whole arm started tingling, started feeling numb, and then I couldn't breathe. I started getting hot flashes, my chest was hurting, my heart was beating really fast.
She was rushed to the hospital where doctors ran urine samples, a blood test, and a CAT scan. They told her that she showed signs of being poisoned, but they couldn't figure out what the chemical was.
Doctor came in and he told me, it wasn't enough in my system to determine what it was, but it was acute poisoning from, an unknown substance.
Neither the DEA nor...
So, with that being said, there's also a date rape drug. I've had the experience of seeing someone under this this drug where it's untraceable in your blood, urine, give CAT scan, still comes back inconclusive. I've had to have the adventure of rushing a female friend of mine's to the emergency room. I had spoken to her all day. She said, are you gonna come out to the bar tonight, like you usually do when you get off work? It was a Thursday. I don't work on Fridays, so I was like, yeah, sure. Yeah, I'll come out. It'll only be for like 15 minutes. I'll have to pay the cover charge, come in, buy a drink, and then sit down, have a few laughs with you for the 15 minutes that we have, and then I'll talk to you the next day. So I got there, but she wasn't there. Her and her friend had left, and everyone knew that I spoke to her, so I would I asked a few people, hey, did you see so and so? They was like, oh yeah, she was here earlier, but her and her homegirl left. I was like, all right, cool. Let me call her, see if she got home safe. I called her, see if she got home safe, and she didn't sound like herself. And even her drunk self, even is coherent enough to where she can form sentences to where it's not slurred. So I was like, are you all right? Did y'all have too much to drink tonight? She was like, nah, I'm fine, but I'm like, yo, what's going on? She was like, come to the house. I was like, all right. So I drove over her house, and this is where I found her. She was on her front porch the whole time. So I was like, what the hell are you doing on your porch? I said, I thought you was in the house this whole time. She was like, I've tell the truth, I don't know. I was like, Jesus Christ. So I was like, do you feel as though you've been drugged or something? I was like, cause I'm gonna rush you to the emergency room. And then I was like, well, where's your homegirl? Because I'm gonna have to go and get her as well. And she was like, well, she just got her kids before she left. And I was like, the girl's gonna have to come with us. I said, to be honest, because if you're feeling like this, I'm pretty sure she's feeling the same. So I hopped on her phone. I called her friend that she was out with, and she sounded the exact same. And this lady would drink. Like, I mean, she would drink. So I said, all right, well, I had to grab her. I had to grab her girls. I had to leave my car there because my car wasn't big enough. I had to take her car, my friend's car, and I had to drive them to the emergency room, and then I had to have the responsibility of having to make sure that our girls were fine. So I explained everything to the nurse. I was like, I called her. She didn't sound herself. And then I called her, and she didn't sound herself. And then I had to put in there, I was like, and she knows how to drink. And, usually she isn't like that. So, So there was like, all right, we're gonna run. She was like, have you been with them all night? I said, no, I just recently got off of work. I looked at my watch. I was like, I got off work probably like 30 to 35 minutes ago. So she was like, okay. She was like, what we're gonna do, we're gonna run a date rape kit and we're gonna run a rape kit. So I was like, all right, cool. Well, date rape drug kit and then a rape kit. I was like, all right, cool. So, I had to sit there in the emergency room with both of them. And I'm just sitting there and, it was more funny because when it came to having to check them in, like with their insurance and all that, I didn't know what their shit was. And the nurse tried her best to get that information out of them. So I was like, okay, so probably sometime, because we was in the emergency room all night, so probably around maybe like 6 o'clock in the morning, the results come back, and they come back inconclusive. I said, what the fuck? What you mean inconclusive? Like, you did the test. You said it's a possibility it could be that. So y'all couldn't find it. They was like, nah. Rape kit came back fine. Nothing, no tearing, no nothing. And both of their tests for a date rape drug came back, and that came back inconclusive as well. So this is where and I forgot the name of the drug, but it's tasteless, it's scentless, and like it causes you to be woozy as hell. And it's not a Ruthie, it's not Rohypnol. So I knew that for a fact because they said that they could have traced that. Because, I brought that up because it was a show I used to watch when I was young called City Guys. And it was an episode where the blonde-haired girl got a Mickey slipped in her drink. So, the whole episode was, basically be careful when you go out to parties if you don't know people and blah, 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 blah. So I basically asked the doctor, well, was it Rohypnol? Like Ruthie's? Like she was like, nah, it wasn't that. So we're thinking that it could be this because it's tasteless and scentless and blah, 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 blah. So, oh, shit. So then the questions had to come about for them from the doctor. When you went out last night, did you guys leave your drinks anywhere? And they said yeah. They was like, we stepped outside, but we could see our drinks where we were at because she wanted to step out and smoke. I said, well, why wouldn't y'all finish y'all's drinks? Like, I would at least finish my drink and then went out to smoke. Like, they was like, well, we could see our drinks. I was like, all right. So basically, the doctor, she got on them both about, you shouldn't leave your drinks because you never know who's up to no good or whatever. And come to find out, maybe like a week or two later, one of the bouncers got fired because they had to, the doctors had to ask, like, where was you guys at? And they was like, well, we was in this little, hole in the wall in his hometown. It's not too far away from our houses in Delaware, but, we went to Maryland to go and party. So I was like, so what did you guys have to drink? So they told me. And then to get back to the bouncer story, because I was about to go right past that. One of the bouncers got fired like a week or two later. And it come to find out it was him who slipped the whatever it was into their drink. Because it was a guy that watched the door on the outside and was a guy that watched the door on the inside. And then you had like three guys that will walk around the bar on Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturday nights. So I was like, I was like, that's weird. I said, because somebody said something about this guy and how kind of off he was, whatever. So come to find out, he did it, and he got fired for it, and because it didn't just happen to them. He had done it to someone else that week after. That's why he got fired that week, if not the following week after. He got fired because, come to find out, someone saw him do it, and then it all linked back to them. I was like, oh well, if this girl got drugged and come to find out it was from him, then when y'all felt the way that y'all did, he probably did it. So, not to place blame on anybody, but hey, you got fired for something so heinous like that. The only person you can really pinpoint it on is the person who actually, that you feel as though that you think did it. So yeah, that's dangerous within itself. But to get back to this, this is even more dangerous because we're talking about these girls picking up a napkin off of their car door handles, and their arm automatically feeling numb, like their fingers start tingling, their arm feels numb, and then they're having a hard time breathing, and then after that it's they're passing out. But just think about how dangerous for the people who don't experience the symptoms right away. Let's just talk about the people who are driving on the road and then they start to feel it, and let's say they get into a 10 car crash pileup. Like it can happen to anybody, not just women. It can happen to dudes too. So I feel as though that by me speaking about this, I hope that I'm doing some good. So to go on with this, let's see. All victims have had. Oh, sorry. All victims have had same tests done and suffer from acute poisoning of an unknown substance. Some women have expressed similar stories in filmed napkins in U.S. currency that has been coated in a similar chemical. Numerous possibilities have been put forth as to what the chemical could be. Fentanyl that can be absorbed through the skin. Others have posed it could be a concentrated THC compound, or even an insect killer that has been banned since the 1980s. So the human body can react differently to various substances, but best practice is to remain aware of your surroundings at all times. So, it could be three possibilities: a concentrated form of THC, um, a pest repellent that has been banned since the 80s. You can probably find it in Mexico. It's a lot of shit you can find in Mexico. And what was the other thing? It was bug killer, concentrated THC, or fentanyl. Now let's talk about fentanyl real fast. Fentanyl has been basically taken over. Like it's everywhere. So a little pin size, like a little amount on a pin, basically can kill an adult. So it's like, what the hell? Like more, like it's been popping up more because of, I'm guessing, this whole opioid crisis that no one's dealing with, and the reality of this is that, you know, you got this drug that's basically used during, I believe it's during like sedation or whatever, and then it's now being placed out on the streets and it's killing people. Like, a lot of people are being killed from this, but also the ones who aren't, you know, they got to get hit with the Narcan, and some EMS workers say that sometimes the Narcan does not work with fentanyl most of the time. I believe that they have like a pen now where it's a pen that I guess that they inject now into somebody who's had a fentanyl overdose. 1 second. So, like I was saying, it's like you know, it's like a pen that they use now or something. So, you know, it's a lot of variations of what can be happening right now. Maybe it's fentanyl that's on here, and they can't really pinpoint it as much because maybe it's mixed with something else. A lot of these drug dealers nowadays, if you guys watch certain, like if you watch Vice, sometimes they have specials on, like these like drug specials where they track these drug dealers and stuff like that, and you know, they're dealing with fentanyl with masks and bandanas and gloves and stuff like that, because it's so potent to where, you know, it can absorb into their skin and kill them. But, you know, there's not a possibility yet of what it is, and it hasn't been really said what it is yet. But, you know, we can just put some sort of emphasis on it to where it could be one of these three things: fentanyl, concentrated THC, or a bug killer. So let's keep going.
Houston Police Department had ever seen a case like this before. Mims told Fox Houston that she was flooded with comments after she did admit in that video that she is a germaphobe. People then speculated that she was simply having a panic attack. The Shade Room brought these concerns to Mark Winter, managing director of the Southeast Houston Poison Center.
Everybody's talking about it. People are concerned about their health and safety, and the possibility of it being connected to criminal activity.
There are chemicals that can be absorbed through the skin. However, they'd have to remain in contact with the skin for several hours.
Or to touch it with your finger and then almost immediately start to react to it. It has to be pretty powerful, right?
There are chemicals that, yes, they can be incapacitating within a few minutes of contact. Nothing is going to be instantaneous.
Winter says that only distinct chemicals could cause harm as quickly as it did for Mims. Rare chemicals like certain weed or insect killers that were banned back in the 1980s. Also substances that only military personnel would have.
If you got them on their skin, within 2 to 4 hours, you would begin to show signs and symptoms of poisoning. When I watched the video, she touched the napkin with just her fingernails, and you don't have any ability to absorb chemicals up the fingernail and then into the fingers themselves. So if there was a chemical present, your fingernails are an excellent barrier.
Well, she could have, you know, scratched herself. Like, she could have, you know, been in the car and got like a, you know, her head probably could have started itching. She could have scratched her head with her nail, and that could have passed that on or whatever. Like, it's the possibilities are endless of or how this could have occurred or whatever, how she started feeling her symptoms. But you know, it's like up in the air because they don't know what it excuse me, what it exactly is. So, you know, we can only speculate at this point. Let's keep going.
or a lot of these chemical toxins.
Winter says that he doesn't disagree about the panic attack theory.
The human mind is a very powerful tool. You can believe that you're exposed. You can believe that you're having problems. And the more you think about it, the worse you begin to feel.
Still, White says she won't get too comfortable.
And if you do notice something on your car, drive to the police station because you don't know who's trailing you or following you.
Winter says that everyone's body is different and will respond to chemical reactions differently. He says that it is always best practice to be aware of your surroundings and call police if you feel like you have been poisoned. Also, there's a national hotline you can call if you do feel like you've been experiencing symptoms. That number is 1-800-222-1222. For TSR Investigates.
All right. So that's all I have for you guys today. Please stay safe. Please stay aware of your surroundings. Please make sure that you guys are paying attention to what is going on, that you can see. So, just stay vigilant and keep your head on the swivel. That's all I got for you guys today. Please check back in with me on Friday for my Friday Marcus Speaks Play show, where I'm going to be playing. It's really kind of up in the air because I've been playing Halo for like the past few weeks, and I was playing last night. It kind of pissed me off, so I probably might be laying off of it. And it's a possibility. You never know. Just check in with my social medias on Friday to see what I will be playing. So if you guys don't know, please go to the links in the description box. Also, if you could do me this one favor, like this video, share this video, and subscribe if you are new here. And to reiterate, Marcus Speaks comes on Fridays at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And please come back on Saturday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for my podcast, Marcus Speaks Live, where you can I do an extended version of what I'm doing right now. So if you want to come and check me out on Saturday, please do, because with my Saturday shows, you guys can hit the link that I'll have posted in the chat. You guys can come up and you guys can talk about the topics that I present, and we can have a conversation. So with that being said, people, I'm gonna head on out. I'm gonna make sure you guys can have the rest of your day. But if you can, please, on any of my videos, please read the scrolling tick or the scrolling ticker. It's for you. It's things that I don't say anymore during my promotions, just to cut the time. Yeah, please do that if you can, and please stay safe out there when you're doing, running errands or going to your girlfriend's at a restaurant or something. Just stay. Make sure you know your surroundings and make sure that no one's tracking you. With that being said, I thank y'all for watching. I'll check you guys out on Friday. Peace out.